Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is April 22nd, 2025, and Barcelona's request to change one of their upcoming matches has been rejected. Also, Lamine Yamal has added yet another award to his trophy cabinet. And finally, the Saudis are coming for several Barcelona players during this summer transfer market. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo and we'll begin this video with the great news that today Barcelona defeated Mallorca 1-0, taking home three very important points in this La Liga title race ahead of the Copa del Rey final this weekend against Real Madrid in what was a deceiving scoreline, because if you look at the scoreline 1-0, it seems like Barcelona struggled to defeat Mallorca. But that was very far from the truth, as Barcelona completely dominated Mallorca. They shot 40 times, but unfortunately the ball did not want to go in. But fortunately, one of those balls did go in, which was Dani Olmo's goal, giving Barcelona this victory and giving Barcelona a 7-point lead ahead of Real Madrid, who are set to play their respective match tomorrow against Getafe. Now, I did do a post-match live analysis. If you do want to hear my thoughts, my opinions, my analysis of today's match against Mallorca, make sure to check out the video on the channel. Now, Hansi Flick did participate in a post-match press conference where, of course, he was asked about Ansu Fati, because today the German coach surprised us all where he started Ansu Fati, a player that had been excluded out of many squad lists, and today he started against Mallorca. And this was Hansi Flick's explanation for his decision to start Ansu. It's very important to me that we have everyone playing at a good level. I think Ansu deserved to play. That's why I decided, especially after the game against Celta. I saw that something had to be changed, and that's what we decided. If he has a good game today, we'll be happy. I wouldn't say it's a final, but every game is important. We have no choice. We have to think about the next game and the ones after. The next one is very important. It's a final. Looking at our starting 11, it's a very good team. There have been many players who have had a lot of playing time, like Koundé, Kouassi, Rafinha. We have to be careful with them. So Hansi Flick pretty much explaining his decision to include Ansu Fati, which of course is what we all thought it was. Rotations. We do have a final on Saturday against Real Madrid, and of course there are plenty of players who have played a lot, so Flick needed to rotate, needed to rest his started 11, so that's why he included Ansu Fati amongst other players, for like Hector Fort, who played in the left back, and Eric Garcia, who played in the right back, which again, I assessed the performance of many of these players in the post-match live analysis, so make sure to check out the video on the channel. Now, speaking of the calendar, Barcelona have submitted a letter to La Liga requesting that their Valladolid match be rescheduled, because Barcelona are set to play against Real Valladolid on May 3rd. Only 3 days after that, they're set to play the second leg of the Champions League against Inter Milan. And the match against Real Valladolid has been scheduled at 9 p.m. on May 3rd. So Barcelona submitted a letter to La Liga to try to reschedule the match, because that will not give players enough sleeping and recovery time. You know, if a match is at 9 p.m., it's going to end at 11. By the time you get home, shower, etc., you're going to go to bed 1, 2 a.m. It's already May 4th. You have to train, because on May 6th you have a Champions League match. And while La Liga have decided to reject Barcelona's request, which, by the way, it's not out of the ordinary. These kind of requests are seen in all leagues, and usually all leagues grant these requests in order to protect the players who are participating in several competitions. Real Madrid last season, their request was granted, but this time around, La Liga saying to Barcelona, no, you cannot postpone the match, which of course my question is, Mr. Joan Laporta, what the hell are you waiting for? The fate of Javier Tebas lays in your hand. Real Madrid have already submitted an official complaint against Tebas. If Barcelona submit their own, it could lead to the suspension of Javier Tebas. So, Mr. Laporta, again I ask, What are you waiting for? Let's kick this clown out of his position, because all he has done is hurt Barcelona time and time again, and today is no different. So Laporta, please, I beg you, file that complaint. Get Tebas out of his position, because I am sick and tired of him. Anyways, on to the next bit of news, and this is good news because, ladies and gentlemen, Lamine Yamal has officially won the Laureus World Breakthrough of the Year. So congratulations to Lamine Yamal, who has added yet another trophy to his trophy cabinet. Of course, he has already won the Golden Boy and the Copa Trophy, the Euros MVP, the Euros Trophy, Spanish Super Cup. Hopefully this weekend he will add Copa del Rey to his cabinet. And now again adding the Laureus World Breakthrough of the Year. So congratulations to our star, who again is only 17 years old, and his cabinet is already starting to get full of trophies. I can only imagine what that cabinet is going to look like once Lamine Yamal retires, which is hopefully many years from now. Now, we will end today's video with the news that the Saudis are coming for several Barcelona players during this summer, where the Saudi press are reporting that many of the Saudi clubs are eyeing many of the Barcelona players, and they are gonna be making huge offers to try to lure these players away from Barcelona and into the Saudi league. Now, you might be asking, who are these players, Mo, and what clubs are interested in them? Well, let's start with Coutinho, who Al Hilal are very interested in signing. Also, we have Al Nassr, the team where Penaldo plays, are interested in both Ronald Araujo and Jules Koundé, and they're also considering Andreas Christensen. And finally, we have Al Ittihad, who are interested in Frankie de Jong. So that's Andreas Christensen, Frankie de Jong, Jules Koundé, Ronald Araujo, and Rafinha, all players that the Saudis are planning to go after in the summer. But that's not all, because the Saudis are also eyeing Barcelona's academy players. They've already taken Unai Hernandez during this winter transfer market, and it looks like they want to come for more. Now, out of all these players, my guess would be probably Christensen would be the most likely to leave. I don't know if it's the Saudi, but he is the most likely to leave. Araujo, I'm still on the fence on him. I don't know if he's going to stay or leave. But if he does leave, I don't think it's going to be the Saudi. As far as Koundé, Rafinha, or even Frankie, they've all expressed their desire to stay. And I think even if they were to leave, I don't see them going to Saudi. But who knows? When the Saudis come after someone, they offer crazy amounts of money, which could end up convincing anyone, really. But hopefully that's not the case, because, of course, these are very important players for our squad. Now, speaking of Rafinha and Koundé, the two of them, plus Gabi, plus Iñigo Martinez, all have 4 yellow cards each, which means that if any of them get another yellow card against Real Valladolid, they would miss El Clásico match in La Liga. And again, that's Iñigo, Koundé, Rafinha, and Gabi. 4 very important players, 3 of them definitive starters. So these 4 are going to have to be very careful in our next La Liga match. Anyways, that is all the news for this video. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment. And as always, Visca Barça.